Hello and welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack, where hopefully this video will answer a lot of questions. Over the years, I have gotten several questions about where do you get parts for these Chinese clone saws. Mine specifically, these off-brand, I should say, off-brand Chinese chainsaws. Mine specifically is a Weimars, but this exact same saw is packaged in many different ways. The Craftsman S20, I think, or S201. I can't remember the name of it. It's a 46cc that you can currently buy at Lowe's. It's one of these saws. Submix, Canuck. This is, you got the Submix, you get those up there in Canada all the time. Canuck is, he's another channel on YouTube, the Chainsaw Canuck, I think. Anyways, his name's Kevin. There's the Salem Master, that's one of these. What else is there? There's a bunch. The John Cutter 5800 is one of these. So anyways, there's a lot of them. So what are they? These are specifically Zenoa clones. I'm not sure exactly what the model is. I think Zenoa, I think they called it a like a 5000 or something, but it's not important. You guys probably get the drift that these things, it's unclear exactly what they are, and there's all kinds of different variations. You can get them with a higher top, a lower top, a completely different look. Mine, the Weimars, part of why I chose it and liked it, well, of course, I love the color scheme. The gray and the blue here really looks good, in my opinion, but also the way that this recoil cover, as well as the clutch cover looks. It looks very Husqvarna 55-ish, okay? It really has a very typical, well, look at this. This is a Husqvarna 55 recoil starter. You can see the similarities there. It's extremely similar. But does one fit the other? No, it does not. Because this is not a Husqvarna clone, regardless of what another channel likes to say. I can't remember the name of them, and I don't want to speak bad about another channel at all. It's not a Husqvarna clone. So don't think that it is. It is a Zenoa clone. So, a lot of people find it very difficult to get parts for these things because there's no perfect branding for them. You get my drift? It's like you're taking a risk pretty much anytime that you're buying parts. You can't really go and type in the Weimars. What is this one? This is the 6220. And expect to see a plethora of options for parts purchasing, right? So how do you know what to buy? Well, first off, I got to tell you that I cannot tell you everything. I can't do it, all right? I know that you want to have every question answered, and even whenever I produce this video and you come back with more questions, I'm not going to be able to answer those questions either. There are certain things that you have to be able to do. Number one, you need to be able to figure some things out for yourself and dig and do the research and things like that. And two, you have to be accepting of the reality that the $9 recoil starter that you're about to buy, the pulley, was in my case, the $7 or whatever recoil pulley might not work for you. You have to be willing to accept that. So, anyways, on with it. I have seen these Zenoa saws marketed as Red Max saws, as Shindawa saws, and even as Zenoa proper saws. Or at least I believe that I have, because there are key items that I'm going to tell you to look for that will help you in your search for what saw you have. Okay, so first off, identifying if you have one of these Zenoa clones. All right, I'm just going to blanket statement there, call it a Zenoa clone. Key things to look for. Number one, the way that the gas tank is laid out. You're going to have your fuel fill up right here, and then you'll have an anti-vibration mount right above it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, the other side, you've still got another anti-vibration mount right here as well. That right there alone is going to key you in on the possibility that you have a Zenoa clone. Number two, the way that this handle is shaped. They all seem to have exactly the same handle. It comes out and then it dips back in. Right here. They seem to all have this. I could be wrong, some of them may not, but I'm just trying to help you. Like I said, I can't answer every single question about these because there is no standard. There is no standard. What we have is several different Chinese manufacturing companies that buy the tooling to create their own version of this saw. All right? Now, the looks. Right? The looks mean little to nothing. I've seen this. Well, they have a Weimar's saw like this that is in existence that has a really funky circular shape to it. But the overall shape of the starter cover is going to be the same. You've got this big cutout right here, right? And you have the little cutout right here. This is for your fuel adjustment. So if you get the basic pattern right, it's probably going to be the right recoil for you. No matter what color it is, no matter what look it has, if it has a more somewhat modern rounded feel to it, but it still has that basic pattern right there, it's probably going to fit on your saw. All right, and then the big key component here is the CC range. They made these from 46 cc's all the way up to 62 cc's. I do this because I've yet to come in contact with one that was a true 62 cc's. I know that some people out there say that theirs is, but have you measured it? I bet you it's not. This one right here is a 59 cc, which goes completely contradictory towards what they're claiming. They claim they got a 58 cc. Well, the 58 cc, I believe, is like 54 cc's. The 62 cc's, as we see here, is 59 cc's. And I also do believe that they can be scattered throughout there. Some might actually be 61 cc's or closer to 62, which allows them to claim the 62 cc's. But for the most part, you're going to get them, and they're going to be around 50 cc's. Like the 52 cc, the 58 cc are both going to be real close to the 50 cc range a lot of times, because you just never know what you're getting, right? I got a 58 cc at first, and mine ended up being a 49 cc. So how do you measure it? You got to get yourself a proper caliper. You reach in and measure. You probably can't see this, but I have this tab that comes out, I'm measuring right now. As that comes out, I'm taking a measurement. So you slide it into the exhaust port, right, and measure the distance of the actual cylinder itself, and then you go down through the spark plug hole and make a measurement of the stroke. Now, I have an actual video. Just look up my videos of the Weimar on my channel. I have a list of Chinese chainsaws, a playlist. Find that playlist, and I show you how to measure one of these things out. But anyways, the important thing is about buying parts for it. So once you've established that you have this set up, and that you have this set up, and that it is a Chinese clone, and it's either 46, 48, 50, 58, or 62 cc's, right? You're right there and you have your search terms. What you do is you go to eBay. You can go to Alibaba as well. Alibaba is an app that you'll download and you can actually buy through that. I find that a little bit quirky to deal with, and I prefer eBay. So I'm going to recommend go to eBay. Go to eBay and you literally type in 52cc Chinese chainsaw starter, 52cc Chinese chainsaw clutch drum. All right, you're going to see it pop up, and then whenever it comes up in your search results, you'll see several things say 50, 52, 58, 62cc Chinese clone saw starter or clutch or whatever. If you've got all of those in the title, then you know that you're actually going to be getting a part that is intended for use with one of these Zenoa clones. All right. Now, what I originally tried to do with this Weimar's is this Weimar's has an easy pull starter. I don't like easy pull, especially because I ported this and we got considerably more compression. It's awkward. I don't like it. So anybody that needs an easy pull for one of these saws, I don't know, they got soft hands. I mean, just put it that way. So what I did was I said, you know what? I bet you I can just purchase the regular Recoil, the Recoil pulley without all the extra spring-loaded crap in it and put it in here and it'll work just fine. Well, the long short of that is no, it doesn't work. This right here is not long enough to cover the distance because the Recoil starter covers have more width to them or girth, all right? They stick out further. And so because of that, you can't make this work. Now, could I buy a non-recoil starter cover and put it on this? Yes, I probably could. I just would get it. I saw several of them, but they were all orange. And I didn't want that. I liked the gray. I thought about dyeing it black, but then the ones that I was finding also had that funky shape to it. It's all circular. I like this style of cutout. So that's what you kind of got to do. You got to kind of compromise. This saw cost me $146 brand new on Amazon. It's not going to be a perfect world, yo. So in an attempt to switch this out, I ended up removing this recoil starter, this pulley assembly. Well, whenever I did that, it caused some problems. And I broke, where's it at? I broke. Where is it? I just had it. There it is. The recoil spring. And now, dealing with a recoil spring is always difficult. Tim sent this to me. Iowa Performance Saws. It's actually got his little logo ingrained in the hand and in the handle. I like that. All of these recoil springs are difficult to deal with, every single one of them. However, I will say that this is the most difficult one that I've ever dealt with. And this right here. There was no good way of installing it. Anyways, long short on that is I broke it. And so I had to get me a new recoil spring. In purchasing this, again, like I said, all I did was I went to eBay and I typed in, I think 52 cc's is where I kind of land. I type in 52 cc Chinese clone saw recoil. Boom. All kinds of different options show up. I see what seems to be the best option for me and my situation. And I bought it for $7. Had to wait for about 4 weeks for it to get here from China. And now we're going to see if we can actually install it. So the way that, nope. Perfect example. There you go. That's not going to work. Let me show you. I don't think this will work. There's my housing. There's the little hook that the little lip right there or whatever will go on. Look how small it is. I do believe that's not going to work. But we'll try it because, why? It's not like I can really return it. So this again is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the risk that we take. All right. These chainsaws are really for the hobbyist or enthusiast because of the difficulties that they bring. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it in there and put that little notch onto the lip where I know that it's supposed to go. And I'm just going to cut this and hope for the best. If you ask, are you scared? Yes. Damn it. Let me go ahead and put something on here so that it's not just my hand holding it down. Boy, now I can't get in there to cut it. Safety glasses engaged, gloves on. Oh. All right. Let me show you what we got going on here. It did, of course, expand and fill out that hole. Now we'll see if my recoil is able to catch on the proper hook there. It's just not even going to work. It just is a hard no. That don't work on this. Let's try this one, see if it works. See, this one, no. I'd have to bore it out and everything. So, fudge. I find that if I bend on this stuff any at all, it wants to break. So I don't see this bending working and being beneficial for me, but we'll try it. Well, it's catching now, but no. Now it's too far raised because that spring is too thick. So here I am, stuck. This is what it's like dealing with these saws. Now, the newbie in this process asks everybody that they can, how do I find parts for it? Where do I go to find parts? What do I actually look at and type in and all that jazz? But the experienced, oh God, that recoil is so tight. That thing is shite. There's no, that just doesn't work at all. And I can't see that working on any saw. So I'm just a little bit fucked, ain't I? Yeah. So this is the situation we find ourselves in. The part that we ordered doesn't work. We rolled the dice. We ordered something that claimed to be for one of these clone saws. But what we got was a recoil that was far too thick and did not have nearly enough travel on it. So, I mean, the gauge of that steel, usually these things are really, really fine spring steel, but this is thick. I mean, that's like a 1/16 of an inch thick. That ain't gonna work for nobody. Yeah, see, it doesn't even, what bullshit. What bullshit. These recoil springs, I would not be able to hold it in my hand like that. I would not be able to do it. It would bling, it would be all over the place, and it would completely unwind. So this, I would say this is not even spring steel. This is just steel, possibly with somewhat of a spring to it, that is just simply rolled up. It's disgusting what this world has come to. But yeah. Now, if you buy one of the on-brand chainsaws, and what I mean by that is a common saw that these things have been cloned after, you don't have these issues, mostly. Because let's say you buy a Husqvarna 372 XP clone from Holtzforma, from Neotech, Farmertech, Farm Mac, all kind of the same thing really. But if you buy one of those, then all you got to do is type in Recoil starter, Recoil spring for Husqvarna 372 XP. And you have your options of buying a part from China, or you have your option of buying an actual OEM part. So, or a used part or whatever. But with these things right here, you're always rolling the dice and you are always going, is that the right one? And all you can do is take your best educated guess, right? And I'm giving you the ability to do that. Your best educated guess is going to be searching for parts for a 52, 58, 62 cc Chinese chainsaw clone. That's really it. That's really it. And then you look at the pictures that they're showing you. If you wanted to buy a Recoil starter, right, you're going to look for the pattern. You're going to look at your part, and you're going to look at the pattern and what they're describing. It's a chainsaw clone. It's not saying it's a 372 XP cover. No, it's saying it's a Chinese clone chainsaw cover. And that's it. It's just a kind of a blanket statement. So you look at the pattern and you go, I think that'll work. Then you roll the dice and you order that shit, and maybe it does and maybe it don't. This is how this world works. this world right here. But I had taken the top off to show you. This right here is the top cover from I believe they're 46 cc's. It says it's 56.5 cc's right there. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But this is for a Blue Max. I had originally got this to work on a different saw. But anyways, I decided not to use it. Let's see if this Blue Max top works on my Weimars. Let's just do it, keep it simple. The simple answer is no. But the slightly more complex answer is absolutely it works. Absolutely it works. So, because the Blue Max definitely is going to have a smaller cylinder than this. My guess is the Blue Max is the 50 cc cylinder, and it's going to be slightly smaller than this. Well, they have this molded in line. All I'd have to do is cut that out. Cut that out, and it'd sit right down on there. The bolt holes line up. Everything else is completely perfectly aligned, and would go right there. Actually, it's almost going right now. I don't think I even have to cut that off. So let's go ahead and see if we can actually get it to fit. Might as well. Stick the spark plug wire through. That may be what was holding it back. That now, that goes there. Okay. The tongue of concentration. There it is. There it is. All it needs to do is be screwed down. So, if I wanted to run this Blue Max top cover. You got it. Little bit of, you know, trimming here and there, but it's the thing is the basis of the saw, the crankcase of the saw is the same. The handle is the same. Everything's the same. But they do put little bits here and there that don't exactly match up. Like this one, this Weimars here, what it has as an attempt to keep heat soak away from the carburetor, it has this cardboard piece. And I'm guessing that the cheaper Blue Max does not have that cardboard piece. Little things like that. You might have to trim some stuff up, but yeah, all the parts work on all the saws. So how do I explain something like this? I can't. As soon as I saw it, I thought, man, that thing's thick, but I didn't think much past that. It's like, no way, that's never gonna work. No matter what I do to it, it ain't gonna work. So now that I broke that spring, I might, you know, I'll definitely go on eBay and I'll be like, that don't work. And they'll refund me the money. There's no ship back or anything like that really. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll try and get my money returned. And I'll keep on looking. I'll look for something else that might work. And ultimately, my guess is I'm going to have to buy a different cover that's complete, has the whole assembly, and just make it work. Or take the guts out of it, and maybe that'll work. But I'll have to get one with the Easy Pull recoil. So, heck, maybe I can just buy an Easy Pull recoil. No, I need that spring. This isn't broken. That spring is. So I'll probably have to buy an entire starter cover and go from there. Until then, the Weimars is down for the count.